Okay, pilots, I'm gonna tear her down tonight. As you can see here, LX model's a little different in the way they mount their motors. So I'm gonna rip this one out, and then you just ain't gonna believe what all I'm going to have to do this thing and get the ESCs out of it. So let's get started. See if I can get this thing on here without pushing the button and turning the video off. Okay, now this is going to take a little bit. So I'm going to do on this side of the plane. I was pulling. I was afraid I was going to pull the whole break the jet in half. Trying to get that one out. I got it out. Get here on the other side. Let me see. I left my glasses in here. Hold on. Turn that thing off. Okay. When something is glued in, okay, and you're trying to get it out, don't just grab a hold of it and start pulling, okay? The way I do it, now you can do it however you want to, it might be something different for you, but I'll try to get the back to go up a little bit, just hear a couple little cracking and popping, just a little bit, and then I'll come up here to the front, I'll do it a little bit, hear cracking and popping a little bit, and just kind of work it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So let's pray. Please, Lord, don't let me break this jet in half. Oh. Just listening to it pop a little bit there. Just a little bit now, just a little bit. It's coming up, and that'll kind of trick you. So you just kind of working a little bit there. Now I pulled a big old chunk out of the other side. Might do the same thing here. I hope I don't pull the whole back side of the jet out. Sometimes it does. And then the ESC or motor leads is going to be coming in. They kind of holding on to it too. A little bit this way. A little bit that way. I'm trying to pull into an angle. I can't get my thumb in there too. She's coming. Let's see here. Let me check my seat here, see if I'm pulling something. That's feeling pretty good. She's holding on this side a little bit here. These LX models pilots is like paper. Oh God, you just don't know. I've done broke. Let's see, it's this over here. This elevator here, just the whole back section of it, just poof. And wasn't even flying. Was just running down the street there, trying to get up to speed to do a parachute test. And the first time I done it, the landing gear went nuts on me. One of the bolts come out of the landing gear and turned one of the mains completely in a 90-degree angle and pulled jet over into the curb there. But that didn't do nothing. The second time I tried it, Lord have mercy, the thing took off bad out of hell on me. Yep, that done the same thing. But thank God it looks like it's double layered down there. Which, that's gonna save my butt on that other number and save my butt on this one from jerking the whole thing out. I'm gonna take these off here. But all I'm gonna do tonight is just see if I can get it took apart. Like I said, this ain't nothing compared to what I'm gonna have to do here in just a little bit, Paul. But don't pass out on me. Stick with me here. So we're gonna leave this like it is because I really can't get to my motor plugs, okay? And I knew it was gonna be that way, but I just wanted to see what I was gonna get into here first. But let me flip it over and show you what we're gonna do next. You just ain't gonna believe it, but we're gonna do it. Because pilots, I've already done this one time before. I had to do this because the manufacturer did not have the thrust vector wired right. Okay. Yes, she's a little dusty. My plane's kind of set there. They just sit there. All right, now. I had to cut the back out of this thing. Okay. To get to the servo leads to the vector or thrust vector servo leads to get it wired right. Let's see, I got to use this one because I got to have a pretty long blade. Now right here in the dead center of this jet, it had factory panel lines right here, and I watched In the Tube Deep, and he had to do the same thing to his because I'm the same reason I'm doing it now. I got to get to them ESCs, so here we go. Going in a 45-degree angle anyway, trying. Now this thing, like I said, it's already been done like this one time before. I could cut some servo leads here. I'm gonna run in the glue that I've put on here before. That's what I'm doing right here, just running in the glue. Goodness. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this thing back open or not. When I had this thing open one time before, I was at least a little bit away from some wires, servo leads. I'm gonna make this front cut straight down. Well, I believe what I'm gonna do next time, pilots, when I put this back together, is I'm gonna put magnets up here. trying to cut on the outside of my original cut to get away from the glue. But every once in a while I'll hit it. You know how I like to put them holes in. I was lucky last time. I only had to touch up paint in here and there, and I don't really had to do any drastic body work. But doing it a second time, and we all know how the back of these jets is kind of a lot of the support. And the LX model does not have spars in their wings. Let's see, wait a minute, I might be wrong there. This one might have had some, but I have seen the wings just completely fold up on this jet in videos. But people have done just like I'm doing right now. Put a stronger setup in it. And I might cut a lead here, pilots. I mean, you know, you're just taking a gamble when you have to do something like this. Gracious stomach. I might have to go all back down through here again. I hate when it stops like that. I just see in my mind I'm seeing a servo lead. See what we got here. I also remember here in these corners was a big thick piece. That didn't want to let go. Push a little bit. Yep. Same place I busted a whole corner out of it. Right there on them leads, Pop, right on it. Sorry, I'm on your way. That's what it is, Pops. I'm right there on that old button. Since busted the whole corner out the last time, I probably got glue all the way down the thing. I just don't want to let go. That's what it is, Pop. Glue all the way down. Heck, I ain't got one of my servo leads glued to it. Okay, now I've got to check and see if I've cut a servo lead in high. That one looks together. That one looks together. Flatten this all in. And thank goodness them was glued down there as far as they could. Okay, now I'm gonna bring you over here and let you take a look at this. See what you got, Cut into my air tunnel there a little bit. Okay, you see your big thick piece here on the corner. And luckily, I didn't hit them leads. Here's our ESCs glued to it. See the thickness over here? Right there at that one spot. And the rest of it's just maybe 3/8 of an inch thick. But note that I've gotten into my vent there a little bit. There ain't no hole there, but I'm still gonna fix that. Put some glue over it. See it a little bit right through there. See where I cut it too much. Okay, Pops, I gotta jerk him ESCs out there. I gotta do it, Pops. You know me. I got to hit a landing gear every time I make a video. Go back and look. Well, at least, pilots, it's a 60 amp Sky, Sky, I'm reading it upside down, Skywalker by Hobby King. Okay, that's the brand we're doing. And they glue them into a hole here that's on the side of your intake tunnel. yet put the glue on this thing because you know it's in line with that fast air coming through there. You know, it won't suck it into the motors. And see, I've got to put that. Pretty much put them E-flat 80 amp ESCs in the same spot. Keep them cool. Or I could cut vents in that panel there. You notice, I was thinking about that the other day too, pilots, when I was looking through. I always go Motion RC, and, well, I don't go to HUD no more. Of course, they did get me fixed up there. But anyway, and I ain't worried about these ESCs. I'll go in there and look at things. Look at the parts page on every jet, every plane. Just look through it, pilots. Look through it. Oh, I don't want to do that. That's broke that whole piece off there. They glued that so good it snapped the wall instead of pulling the ESC. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. It just looks like it did. Okay. Goodness gracious. Now, they wasn't much motor lead. As a matter of fact, that thing might be, look at that, if I ain't gonna get that and bust it again. It was pretty much glued all back in through there too. So I'm just gonna have to rip and pull, pilots, that's all you can do. When you can't even get to the leads, you just got to do what you gotta do. But I look through there and I find vents for cheaters, okay, and the FMS 70mm cheater vent. It's on the top of the jet. It's not on the bottom of the jet. It's on the top of the jet. Still can't get in there them leads. So you know what I'm gonna do, pilots? You know what I'm gonna do? Because I know these 80 amps. I want you to look at the length of the lead on these 80 amps. Look how long they are to the ESC. So I know I got plenty of room. I mean, I got plenty. And I know it's long enough. I want you to look here. It's long enough to get, okay, to the cockpit. I think so. So let's get this over. Come on. Let's pull out the jaws of life here. I got to get this stuff out of here. Now actually, yeah. I was going through a pretty thin channel up through there. I'm not gonna leave these wires sitting. Pull the other stuff through. Next, let's see here. This will let go. Oh God. Yeah, it let go all right. I have to glue that piece back in. Piece back in. Let me cut that off. Well, I'll do it when I get it out here where I can get a hold of it. Alright, let me do one thing. Let me do this. Keep my left from my right. Seems like they've got it separated up on this one. You got channels going up through the fuselage or pots. Got two going through here. So what I'm going to do is make sure I get left and right here. Well, actually, they got them joined right there. So that's going through the center. So that thing, what about that? Don't worry about that. Let's just cut Cut the switch. Let's see, does that plug in? No, I didn't cut that one off. Let's see what this looks like here. That's soldered. Got a regular plug on it. You can use them as extensions. I'll look at them too. I gotta save that piece there. I got to save that piece. It took about an inch out off the intake tube there. Okay, and then I've got to cut this off. Look here. I want you to look at that big chunk it pulled out of it. See, I got to re-glue all that stuff in. And pallets, LX model measurements on 70 millimeters is a little bit different than FMS, so I'm gonna have to do some boring. But we've got the ESCs out. Get that other motor out. The leads is glued in too. Goodness gracious, come on, LX. Heard of wire ties crying out loud. Okay. I don't know pilots. I've seen video. You know me. I hadn't flown, well, any of the EDS that I've got. I have flown EDS, but ain't none of them come home. Okay, it's Outrunner, see, and usually Outrunners has got these rims is the same color as gold will be up in here, and you slide the burner on it, and snap it right in there. Put a tie around it. Well, the LX model, you can't see it. Let me get a slide up here. The LX model fan comes all the way back and covers that rim. See that? Now, yeah, you could take a grinder and grind that wall, this wall right here, grind it down flush where the motor's bolted in. But look how, I'm trying to show you the support wall here. It's thick. It goes on up in there. But you would grind it down to where it probably wouldn't be but about a ½ inch. So, I don't know, So I wasn't gonna try it. I wasn't gonna go that far. But, look, let's see here. If you can read it. Trying to get it in there. It won't focus, will it? Well, if you can read it, let me see if I can read it. Well, it's a 1800 kV QX motor. I've never heard of them. Alright, pilots, there we go. I got the back cut open with major surgery here. See the small chunk here I took out of here. But that's where the ESC is gonna go. So what I've got to do is I've got to run the motor leads back to the motor, plug it up, pull them out tight there, fasten them to them air intakes, cut my little covers off. That keeps, I believe, and a lot of other pilots do it too, but you cut the cover off. Now don't cut it off of the side that you feel all the resistors and all the controls and everything on. You cut it off of the side that feels nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. See? And I believe it keeps them cooler. I really do. Okay, pilots. Till the next episode. EQRC. I'm on Hobby Squat now.